Hi everyone, this is Debbie from Project 39 Mini Albums, and we are making a book. Not necessarily a mini album, but more like a traveler's notebook slash gratitude journal slash just little book for notes. So I'm doing this flying by the seat of my pants kind of thing. The only thing I've prepped is I cut 2 sheets of chipboard 4x7 and 1 piece of chipboard 3/4 by 7. And I've also cut pattern paper. I'm going to wrap my book with pattern paper. And I cut this 6x9, 2 sheets of that, and 1 9 by whatever was left over. It's probably like 3 inches. And also I added some score tape to the back, not completely covering it, but enough that it's going to work. So if you guys are game for this, let's get started. And if you want to catch up, just put this on pause and go ahead and grab the materials I just told you about, and we'll do this together. All right, I am grabbing. So I'm putting my paper up here. And the good thing about this paper is it really can go in any direction. Gosh, it's beautiful. Love the color. So I'm putting a 1-inch piece of chipboard as a spacer here and 1 inch there. And I am doing this easy wrap method designed by Tamara from Country Craft Creations, where I am a design team member. And she had just come out with this paper. She has come out with some paper in the past, but this paper is just beautiful, and I just wanted to dig right into it. I'm going to do that one, and then I'll go ahead and do this one. And I just want to make something with it. I just wanted to, you ever get that? Where you just want to touch the paper, play with it, you know, just see how it handles kind of thing. Well, that's where I am with this. I don't know if you saw my design team haul, but holy moly, it was a haul. You may know, you may not, that I live in my RV with my husband. We travel the country, and I am so fortunate that I have a craft room in my RV, and I am able to create as we travel. Now that's not going to work, I don't think. Now I'm just going to use the 1-inch spacer. So what you're supposed to do when you're doing the easy wrap method is cut it 1.5 inches. The paper would be 1.5 inches bigger than the 3/4. So it would be 3 plus 3/4, so it would be 3 3/4, and this is just 3. But I'm just going to go with it. I guess I could cut another sheet of paper, but I have something else in mind for this paper pad, and I wanted to save the paper. So I know I should be using a craft knife or something to get this. But using these spacers, first of all, it's genius. And second of all, it helps you put everything so it's flat and it's even. I guess that's the word I'm looking for, even. So that is fabulous. I'm just going to take my bone folder and burnish. So yes, I do have a craft room in my RV. I'm so lucky. I am the most fortunate woman in the world. So maybe I should do a gratitude journal, because that's just how I feel today. And it's almost fall. I'm here in Vermont. I'm going to take my bone folder and just go against the edge of this paper. And it is beautiful in Vermont. It feels like a fall day. It is September 7th. And we were up in Maine and stopped in New Hampshire, and we were up in the mountains of New Hampshire, and up in the mountains at a higher elevation, there were more trees turning colors. They were starting to turn colors. They are starting to turn colors here. but you don't see that many. You know, if you look for it, you'll see it. I mean, we were hiking in the woods the other day, and we just stood on the trail, and to the right of us and to the left of us and above us were these beautiful red leaves with, like, where the veins were still green, and just so beautiful. I love fall. Not quite these colors, but getting there. Getting there. So if you are not familiar with this easy wrap method, I do have a video on how to make a mini album cover, and it is using this method. So, or go to Facebook or go to Country Craft Creations YouTube. I don't remember what the video was called that Tamara from Country Craft Creations did this, but it's genius. But you can wrap this however you want. The thing about this is I am using this new paper line. Let me see if I can find the cover of the paper. There it is. Autumn Orchard. Where's our paper? It's the back of this one. No, it's this one, which could be the back of that. Yeah. It is made with, let me get this right, Bristol vellum, something Bristol vellum, and it's a great paper. It, as you can see, it folds very nicely, it scores very well, it takes distressing really well. It's just a nice paper. All right, so I'm going to cut out those squares on this one, and so we'll cut the squares out on the covers, and I'll show you what to do with the spine. And I try to go fast, and I really probably shouldn't. I should really just take my time. But when I'm doing videos, gosh, sometimes they seem to take hours. And it really doesn't take hours. It's just that I talk for hours. So anyhow. So yes, we are in the Northeast this fall, and we are enjoying the weather. So now I'm cutting, putting my scissors against here, and there's just a little, and I should focus it, but see here, see there's a little piece that sticks out when you do it. If you just go like that, that'll cut off that piece. So it cuts off anything that is extra, so it's going to help it fold. So now that I've done all 4 of these, now I'm going to turn it over, fold this in, and do the 4 on this side. So I'll do that with the other one, and we'll do something different with the spine. So anyhow, I am enjoying fall. And I know some of you might be working and you're like, it's not fair. But let me tell you, I worked, and I could not take vacation, just it was company policy, the position I was in, not to take vacation from mid-October till after Christmas. And I love fall. So even though we tried to go see fall color in the beginning of October, sometimes we missed it. A lot of times we missed it. It was just beginning to turn fall. Okay, now with this one, Tamara does this different method. She just cuts the same rectangles out. I'm just going to go from one corner of the rectangle to the other. This was the old method that she used, and I prefer this just because I'm not good at cutting straight. So we're just going to make a trapezoid. That is a trapezoid. You would think I would know that from geometry, but I don't. I know that because I watch hockey. All right, now we're going to glue this down. So with the hinge. You know what I'm talking about. With this piece, I'm going to just put some glue in this trapezoid, and I am using my liquid adhesive. I may use some more score tape, but I may not. And I'm going to put a little there at the edge. And I am going to fold this up and just make sure it sticks onto the chipboard. And then I'm going to turn it upside down and go again along the chipboard and push it. And I have new paper down here, and I don't want to get my paper on my table dirty. See, look, all that stuff that came out. Spine. That's the word I'm looking for. All right, now that we've done that, you can see where it is. I'm going to take my scissors and just cut a teeny little bit just to bevel this. Miter, I guess, is another word for it. Okay, done with that. Going to let it sit. Now here, I am going to take the tip of my glue and go along the edge. Did you see all that? And then also put some here. And then I will take my bone folder and push against this so we know it's perfectly flat against the edge of the chipboard, and then fold it over and burnish it. And if there's glue that comes out, that's good. Actually, I'm going to use my baby wipe, and you can buy any brand. I could not even tell you what brand this is because it is so old. It actually may not be a baby wipe. It may be rubber stamp cleaner. I mean, whatever it is, it was old and dry, and I just rinsed it out in the sink and tried to get all of the lint out of it, and I was pretty successful. All right, so I did the two long sides, and then I'll do the short side. I don't think it matters much which. You could go around in a square, but in my mind, oops, I didn't put any here. No wonder why it's not sticking. That is what's going to work. So yes, we were in Maine this year. I spent a month in the Bar Harbor, Acadia area. And it was crowded. We went to the Skodak area. If you're not familiar with it, look it up because it is beautiful. Acadia was very, very busy. But the Skodak area of Acadia was not. Now I'm going to take my bone folder and just go along the edge on all four sides. It may not really do anything. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, probably nobody will notice. But I like to do it. So you can cover your mini albums or whatever any way you want, but I suggest you try this method. It just sort of looks more finished. Just try it. See how you like it. Try it. You'll like it. Am I showing my age? All right, now we'll do these two sides. And I'm trying to see, I am at 14 minutes, I think. So 15 minutes, you have a mini album, almost. It might be 16 minutes. You have a mini album cover. Now, it probably would take a little less time or a little more doing it the other method. And I still do use that other method, you know, where you put the papers, glue them together and put the 3 or 4 pieces of chipboard together. You can do that if you want to. Again, I just like this method sometimes, and I sort of feel like it's fast. And people have said if they have problems with their hands, arthritis, or you know, you broke your fingers or something, then try this method because it is easier. All right, I am going to take my scoreboard and put my, no, first, wait, no I'm not. I'm going to take some score tape and put it, I don't know, 1/2 inch away from the spine. You don't necessarily need to do this. I just do it as added security. Now I'm going to pull off one side, and I'm going to put this against the side and the top of my scoreboard. I'm going to take a bead of glue, and here you can see I cannot draw a straight line to save my life, but I am about 1/8 of an inch away, a little bit more away from where the spine is. Why is that word escaping me today? So now I have the spine showing, not the inside, and I have the cover of the book showing, not the inside. And I'm going to go with this one first. Is there a top and a bottom? I don't know, but I like this. And that'll go like that, right next to where the spine is. And make sure, and push it down. Use your bone folder to make sure that it is even. Now I'm going to turn this upside down. Oops. I'm going to turn it this way so it's face up. Take off my score tape. You could just use glitter glue. When it comes to putting something together, I tend to use 2 kinds of glues. Like if I was making wreaths, I would use hot glue and a wet glue. My theory is one would hold if the other one fails. Okay. Now, I'm not going to try to bend this. I want this glue to dry. So I'm going to put that aside for just a second and decide what I am going to do for my cover. Actually, it's not that tough of a decision. I love this. Wouldn't that look nice on the inside? So the question is, should I do one whole piece? I think I am. Like I say, this is sort of fly by the seat of your pants kind of thing. I haven't made a prototype. Well, that's silly. I'm drawing a line with a pencil with no lead. I have an old-fashioned pencil sharpener, but it is in what we call the garage of our RV. Yes, we have a garage. It's really not a garage, but it's where my husband keeps the tools, and that's where we keep the pencil sharpener. I have another pencil sharpener, but you know what? It's so much easier for him to use his. Well, because he does it, not me. than for me to use mine. Okay, I said I was not going to use any more score tape. I lied. I'm going to put some score tape here on the spine. I'm not going to go all the way to the edge. I'm going to stay about 1/4 inch away. I'm going to use the smaller one because that's 3/4, and I don't have any 3/4 inch. So I'll put it there, and then I'm going to put some on the other side of the fold. Again, I haven't folded this book to make sure it's going to stay, but just there. And now I'm going to take a pointy tool and loosen my score tape and peel it all off. You can't even see it, but it's there. All right. Now I am going to, did I just hit that camera? Center this on there. So I cut it maybe 1/8 of an inch short. So there is 1/16 of an inch top and bottom, side to side. And really I'm just sticking it to the center. That's where the score tape is. So I'm going to pull this up and go crazy with the liquid glue. Alrighty. Oh, I like it. I like it. Don't you love these colors? So turquoise in fall. What do you think about turquoise in fall colors? Normally you don't see it, but I think it's fabulous. Whoopsie. I don't want to spread all that glue. Well, yes, I do want to spread all that glue, but I don't want it to seep out. I don't want to make a mess with it because I do want it to seep out. All right, there's the outside cover. There's the inside cover. All right, easy schmeezy. So, like I said, I want to make this sort of like a traveler's notebook, but I'm not going to go crazy and do all the threading and all that. I am going to take, no, first what I'm going to do is see what color eyelets I have to go with this. Let us take a look at all my fabulous eyelets. So I would love to have a large one in turquoise, but I don't. I can tell you that. There's small ones. There's brads, but no, don't really. All right, so that's out of the question. Do I have orange? Probably not. Those are not. I might have purple. I'm going to have to go with probably just plain silver. Now you could use small eyelets if you wanted, but I like the look of the large ones, and plus I have 1,000 of them, and what else am I going to do with them? So I'm going to make a hole on each end. Let's see, I have that set at 1/2 inch. I'm going to go a little smaller. 3/8 of an inch. I am going to make one hole. I am going to eyeball it and center it 3/8 of an inch from the bottom and 3/8 of an inch from the top. Come on, center. There you go. How do you like them apples? And now I am going to put my little eyelet thingies in here. Do you guys use eyelets? I mean, I end up using brads more often. Why is that not going in? There we go. But, I don't know. They had a nice touch. They were a thing 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Don't ask me what the settings are on here. I know there are other places to find the settings. I am not an expert. I just do what seems to work well for me. I try to, at least. Come on, where are you? There we go. And there. You know, I find that you don't even notice this once you put your string in, but just to make sure you don't notice it, I think I was saying somewhere down the road that being in my little RV craft room, I'm just hammering it just so it doesn't pop up. I have everything I need. I don't even have to get out of my chair in most cases. I have a desk is built on IKEA cabinets with 4 drawers. The bottom one is deep enough for paper, and the top ones are good for punches, stamps, inks, not stamps, inks, tools, miscellaneous, and all of the tools I use day to day. Behind me is where I have my tape. There is a video on that. All right, done with that. Now we need to, you know, I just lied. I said everything I have, I don't have to get up for, and I had to get up for this. I am looking for an elastic that will go with this. And I want sort of a thick one. What the heck is all this stuff sticking to it? All right, so I have those 2 elastics. So either this one or this one. If you guys are going with the brown, I agree with you. And I am going with the brown too. So the way I want to have 2 bands. Well, maybe 3. Well, just 2. Because I don't know what I'm using this for yet. But here's a hint or a secret. If you want to figure out how much you need, like if you're doing a traveler's notebook and you've got 3 holes and you're going to have 4 stretches of your elastic, you wrap it around 2 times for 4. And then that way you know exactly how much you need, and then give yourself a little extra to tie it off. So that, wrap it around 2 times. Here's where I started. That's where I stop. That's 2 full times. And that would be enough for a traveler's notebook. I'm going to do 2 times and then add some extra to tie it around. I think I might do, I don't know. I don't know how many times I'll. I guess I'll do 2 times. All right, so I am going to just wrap it around. I'm going to have it showing on the outside. That doesn't bother me. It'll sort of look pretty. But I am tying it on the inside. Sorry, I was trying to get it through. Could I do one more time? Let me see. Hold this, pull it. We could do 3. All right, now I'm going to pull it taut, just so I can tie it, but it won't be very taut once I am done. And this elastic was in the kids jewelry section of Walmart, maybe? Kids jewelry section. All right, is that good? Yep, that's perfect. I made a double knot. I'm going to cut it a little bit so there's 1/4 inch sticking out, and we're done. Now I'm going to take my bone folder and bend my paper, bend the book. So I find where the seam is, and I just go back and forth with my bone folder slowly as I fold it. And I've got the blunt end of it. I don't have a pointed end because I don't want to rip the paper. Same thing on this side. And just fold it up gently as I'm going back and forth. And now here is my book. So that's what it looks like with that. Now if you don't like that, you could make 2 holes and go in and out like a traveler's notebook. But so far, so good. Oh, isn't that fabulous? All right, I feel like that was the easy part. Now, what I'm going to do is, so I have 3, I'm going to have 3 signatures. So I'm going to grab 3 different pieces of paper. So if I use this, it's going to be cut off here. But you know what? I'm all right with that. There's one. How do you like that? There's 2. Now I want something out of that color theme. I mean, I love the truck, but you won't see all of the truck, so I'm going to go with this. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Okay, that'll work. All right, so there's my 3 pieces of paper for my 3 signatures. And now I need to measure and see how big my signatures are going to be. So the book is 4 inches. So I could have, so I'm going to cut it. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut my paper 8 inches by, let's see how tall, 8 by 6. 8 by 6. Let me move this out of the way. 8 by 6. Oh, this has squirrels on it. I want to make sure there's going to be a squirrel on the front. There's this guy. I turn it upside down. There and there. Alrighty. 8 by 6. Yeah, I cut all 3 pieces at once. Why do I do that? Because I'm lazy? Because I can. Because this paper trimmer, I mean, you can tell, this is old. This is an old Fiskars paper trimmer. The good thing is I still have that truck for another use. That was 8. And then was it this side? By 6. Is that right? 6. I could make it bigger than that. I'm going to make it a little bigger than that. I'm going 6 1/4. Woohoo! Okay. It looks so small, but that's okay. It's only the... Oh, and now I have 6-inch pieces, so I could do a second one if I wanted to. And I might want to. All right. I'm going to take these. And decide what's going to be the front of my signatures. All right, this one's easy. That one's easy. So I need to clean my tools, but you guys know that I like to use this for burnishing on my scoreboard. I still have the tool that came with this one. Never can open it. Anyhow, it's in there, but I don't like it. All right, so that's 8. I'm going to score it at 4. I'm going to score that at 4 and decide what's going to be the front and back later. I mean, really, that could be the cover. Now, this one, I probably meant to cut a different one, but that's okay. This is still pretty. Okay, sorry. Now that I have that, now I'm going to grab some plain white paper, copy paper. If you have colored paper, if you have dotted paper, if you have graph paper, you could use that. I just grabbed a handful. And I am going to cut it. So that's 6 1/4. I'm going to cut this 6. Do I want the signatures to be bigger than this? No, I'm going to have the signatures the same. I'm changing it. I'm cutting it 8 1/2 by 6 1/4. Even if you have a different style cutting board, you might be able to cut several pieces at a time. Take some scrap paper and try it and see what works for you. All right, now I'm going to take maybe 4 pieces at a time. This is 8 1/4, so I'm going to do 8 1/2. I'm going to do 4 1/4. Just in small sections. Small sections, not big. 4 1/4. That probably is not going to be straight. You know what they have here in Vermont is covered bridges. Remember those? If you don't live in the Northeast, you probably have read about them or read the book Bridges of Madison County. They really are amazing. There was one we passed that is not, you can't drive a car through it because it's not that, it can't take that weight, but they made it into a farmer's market. Isn't that cool? All right, so I just pulled, I don't know, maybe 20 sheets. I probably can do more, but just for this illustration's sake, I'm going to stick with what I have. And I'm going to fold my little signatures and fold my little paper. And yes, I know it doesn't fit. That's okay. I knew it wasn't going to fit. And that is okay. And here's that one. Alright, well, you can tell there was a squirrel there. I am sure there is a cut apart with the squirrel that if it really bothered me, I would make sure that I got the squirrel in one way or the other. All right, so I am just putting them together and putting them in the book. Now remember, this book is 4 inches and I cut it 4. I really don't want it 4 inches. I really want it 3 3/4. So what I'm going to do is staple this all together and then I'm going to trim it. Again, I am super fortunate with the paper cutter that I have. You may have to, I should trim it first, huh? Because this is not going to fit otherwise. And I have another trick for it if I needed to. I'll do one, but the other ones I'm going to do my old way. Okay, I have a bunch of fun foam. It's 2 sheets on top of each other. I'm going to put this down and I'm going to take my stapler and push it. So I know that it's going to go through the fun foam. Oh, I should have done it the other way. We'll do it this way. From the We're doing it this way from the outside. All right, can you see what I'm doing? I'm taking my stapler, going right on the crease, pushing it. You can't see it because it's a blue staple. Why have blue staples? Why not? So now I push it through, take my bone folder, so I don't cut myself, and just go like that. I'll do one more, but the other way I'm gonna cheat, and let me okay, so here's my fun foam. Actually, I'll put it 4 times. Here's my little booklet. There's the seam. You can take the stapler from the outside and push it so it goes into the fun foam. And you see it here now. And I'll bend it. I did not get exactly into the center of that, but that's okay. All right, now that I've done that, let me make some room. I have stuff all over the place. Now that I've done that, I'm folding the book. I'm going to put it in here, and I want it 3 3/4, so I'm putting the edge to my 3 3/4 mark. And so what am I doing? Making kindling for the fire, so I can have s'mores. I'm going to trim this a little bit because I got it all wonky. More kindling for s'mores. All right, so there is a book. Let me go back out. And I will do another one. And you know what? It worked with my 4 sheets of fun foam. Here is the center. Since I was so successful with that one, I'm going to do this one too. Now, if you have a long arm stapler, you don't have to mess with all this. You will be fine. But I don't. And I don't want to buy any more stuff, you know? I mean, if I made traveler's notebooks and that's all I did, oh, come on. I would definitely go buy some more. Buy the long arm stapler. You know that pencil that didn't have a point in it? I'm going to take that sucker and use that. Geez, if this was the hardest part, it's easy, right? Why is that not sitting straight? Just burnish it, it'll work out fine. All right, 3 3/4. Come on, did that cut? It did. Okay, one more to go. It's this one with the pretty leaves. Gonna fold this over so I have 4 layers of fun foam. I'm going to find the seam and put my stapler. I am off. But am I worried about it? No. That was perfect. And then I'm taking my pencil with the eraser and the broken point, because that seemed to work best of all. And then I'll fold it, take my bone folder, and find the 3 3/4. And make fire starter. So you would think, since I live in my RV and we camp all the time, that every night I'm having s'mores. I can't tell you the last time I had a s'more. Oh wait, no. Had some in Maine. I didn't buy it, but we went to a campfire with adults, and they introduced me to something new. It was s'mores dipped in Bailey's. Sugar overload, but it was yummy. All right, now I am going to take these, figure out which is first. I'm sad that I didn't get the squirrel right on the cover, but I'm not that sad. I'm going to put that in. There's number 1. Which do we want to be first? That one? Yeah, that'll be first. So number 2 will be this one. Well, what do you think? That? Yes. Number 2. And number 3. That way? Okay. Nope, can't do it that way because then that's upside down, so it's got to go this way. And now that I'm doing that, I probably should have decorated these first with one of this. But what do you think? I mean, it's cute. It's just a little covered book. You could put pockets in here if you wanted. You could put a matching pen with a little loop to put the pen in, or just stick the pen if it's got, you know, stick the pen there. There's the cover. Isn't that pretty? I mean, I know you see the elastic, but I don't think that's so bad. All right, let me see. Let's look at this. So I am going to take Nuts About Fall. I'm going to take one of these sunflowers. Autumn Orchard. That doesn't say anything. Leaves are falling, autumn is calling. How about just Hey Pumpkin on the cover? So anyhow, I'm going to turn the camera off for a second while I do all this fussy cutting, because I know you do not want to see that. And then I will come back after I've done the fussy cutting and put it all together. So come right back. Alrighty, let us add glue. Now I did ink around the edges with some Tim Holtz black soot. I mean, you could use a brown if you wanted to, but just that way you didn't see the white of the border of the paper if I messed up a little bit, because I did. I thought that one would be good for here. Whoops, and see, now I see a little white. I didn't ink that well. You know, I don't know. I just thought this was pretty. And also this way, to me this is top heavy. There were all these leaves up here and just a couple down there, and that just seems to balance it better. In my mind, that works. Now, the squirrel, you know, I'm sad that I didn't get the squirrel right. But you know what? There's a squirrel on here. It says nuts about fall. It's also got the same plaid as the book, so it just makes it work real well. So there is that one. And then here it says hello pumpkin. Does that look too busy? You know what? I don't care. I like it. You could, if you wanted to, cut the same thing in a little bit larger just to have a border around it. I think that's probably what bothers me about it. I like to have borders around things. So anyhow, there is our book. It's called Hello Pumpkin. There's the spine. We open it up and there's the sunflower group of notes. The inside of that shows, and that's okay. I don't mind that. And then here we have, and look at how the colors look nice to each other. Harvest, pumpkin patch, corn maze, apple cider, and hay rides. Looks gorgeous. The inside is the stripes, which is fabulous. And then look at how nice that looks. Nuts about fall with a cute little squirrel with the big ears. I know that's a particular kind of squirrel that I have not seen here in the Northeast. I think I've seen them in the West. There's a cute little squirrel. And there's the inside cover of that book, and it folds nicely. And there we go. So I hope you enjoyed this quick tutorial. Please give me a thumbs up, especially if you want to see more of this. Give me a comment on what you want to make or use this book for. And that's all I have for you today. Have a fabulous day.